passed away recently. And I used to be Facebook friends with his brother, who was totally anti-communist, was a great guy. He signed my art. I met him at a music festival called Langarado. And I grew up reading Dan Lebatard. He was a hero of mine. He was such a great writer, and it totally escaped me that you guys were that close. I remember hearing you on a show back in the day, but that you were that close, totally escaped me. And a shame that he was so cowardly. The guy who was the best man at my wedding when I publicly supported Trump went on the internet to write disgusting things about me, and haven't really spoken to him at all since. So. It's just we're in this day and age where everything got so polarized. It's like you go here and you go here. There's very few people in the middle. And it's the way it is. Sorry to hear that story. Thank you for telling it. Totally not a setup at all. A real setup question. This is something I researched, as basic research. In 2008, you were the first sports writer to win the National Journalism Award from the Scripps Howard Foundation. What were you writing about that won you the award?
That was for the work I did, I believe, in 2007. And, you had to submit, I believe, 10 pieces of work to win that award. But the major stuff that I did in 2007 was Don Imus had said on his radio program about the Rutgers basketball team coached by C. Vivian Stringer. They called them nappy-headed hoes. And
I remember that.
This whole uproar. And I wrote a column saying the same kind of stuff I would say today. Is like, hey, man, I don't even listen to Don Imus. Black folks don't listen to Don Imus. I said, but we sure listen to rap music. And it calls our women every name in the book. And every Black person's an N-word and that word. And so why are we acting like Don Imus is the bridge too far when it's clearly this hip-hop music? That story went everywhere.
You couldn't be more correct.
Got me on Oprah for 2 shows because it's everything Oprah believes, but she didn't have the balls to say. So she had me represent that point of view and blah, blah, blah. And then later on that year, I don't know if you guys remember the Jenna 6 controversy, 6 Black kids from Louisiana that allegedly nearly beat a Black kid to death. No. The Jenna 6 nearly beat a white kid to death. And 6 Black kids nearly beat a white kid to death. Let's say, and I'm going off memory, let's say that happened in March. Some guy creates a narrative that, well, they only beat that kid up in March because in October, the months before, someone hung a noose on that campus and the administration didn't properly handle that situation. And so that created the animus that led to the Black kids beating up a white kid in March. And so the whole national media was just going for this, and Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson and the typical race baiter, they were holding rallies and marches, and they were saying that the prosecutor had overcharged these Black kids because of racism. And so I went down to Jenna, Louisiana, spent 3 days down there, did some reporting, and came back and told the story of, and this is factual, that a white liberal minister from Texas started a blog and created the Jenna 6 narrative that, hey, this kid only got beat up because 5 months earlier someone hung a noose and the school didn't do that. And the white liberal minister from Texas started this blog, and then he fed it to a reporter at the Chicago Tribune named Howard Witt or something like that. He fed it to a reporter at the Chicago Tribune. He started writing about it and turned it into a national story. And so I tracked down the minister. He consented to an interview. He copped to what he did because he was actually bitter that he wasn't getting the credit for creating the Jenna 6 deal. And he's like, Jesse Jackson, they done came in and Al Sharpton have overtaken, and they're getting all the credit for the Gen 6, and I'm the guy that did it. And there was the guy in Chicago Tribune and someone else that he spoon-fed this narrative, and they started reporting it. And I think Howard Witt or whatever his name was, most people thought he was on track to win a Pulitzer Prize for his reporting on the Gen 6, and I undercut that narrative with my story, and that and several other things that transpired that year that just put me in the national spotlight is how I won the Scripps Howard World Award for commentary.
That's so awesome. Yeah, well, so in respect to your time, man, thank you so much for coming on. Do you have a final question, Andrew?
Yeah, a couple of things. I'm paraphrasing now. I didn't write down this quote, but after my Twitter Spaces debate with Candace Owens and Dan Bilzerian and Dave Smith and Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate, I believe Jason Whitlock said, Andrew Meyer is a beast. Very impressive. So I wanted to say thank you, Jason. And do you have any comments on that space?
I remember it. I didn't, the name, obviously I remember Candace Owens, but now when you say those additional names that were on there, they all have relevance to me, that they were people that were on there then that I didn't know what they represented, but I just remember coming away like, man, that guy is honest, transparent, and fair.
Thank you.
And I was like, that we need to have more conversations with that guy. Thank
you. I really appreciate that. And it occurred to me during this, I want to send you a copy of my book because you're a writer, and I know you'll appreciate it. I wrote a book called Don't Tase Me, Bro, Real Questions, Fake News, and My Life as a Meme, from the whole Don't Tase Me, Bro thing. And I think you'll enjoy it. I want to send you a copy. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I hope that we get back to that 90s racial harmony we had when I was growing up. I always talk about when I was a kid, there was a cartoon, the X-Men cartoon, and they have like Storm and Wolverine. They go back in time into like the 60s or something, and they're like shocked by the racial prejudice. Storm is like skin color prejudice. Like what? Like it's like shocking to her. It's like that's the world that I want to live in, where it's like every other movie in the 90s is a buddy cop film with a black dude and a white dude. It's like we're all getting along here, and all this division, this divide and conquer stuff between blacks, whites, Jews. I think the more that we talk to each other, that we're able to have honest conversations and laughs and stuff like that, I hope that we can get to that place. And thank you so much for coming on, Jason.
I'll end with this. It's look at the movies that come out now, and it's like they're promoting racial division. Every movie, it's got a slave narrative, oppression narrative. Everybody's getting anyway. They're programming us for destruction, and we need to do the best we can to fight it. Thank you guys for having me. Love to do it again.
Yes, please.
Peace out.
Thank you so much,
Jason.
Yep.
Oh,
when's this going to air?
We're live right now on Twitter.
And on YouTube. So we'll send you the link.
Yeah, definitely retweet. I think your audience will appreciate it. Where can they find you? They already know who you are, but
everyone knows who you
are. Whitlock Jason. Find me there.
Whitlock Jason on Twitter.
This is on Twitter. I would have tweeted it out. Anyway, thank you.
It's always after the fact works too, man. I tagged you.
Perfect.
Appreciate you, sir.